Listen, it's quite simple. Press the free like button if you think that the World Wrestling Federation audience likes Jey Uso way better than Jimmy. Listen, Jimmy has been exposed as the boring twin that nobody cares about. You see, this is what I was afraid of once they broke up. The crowd has spoken. A couple of months ago, I remember I made a video and I was saying that you can't push one twin over the other. And I said that you can't break up Jey and Jimmy because you can't favor one twin over the other. Now, I do like how they have been booked because I wouldn't say that Jey has been pushed more than Jimmy. I feel like they have been pushed on the same level. They have gotten the same TV time, same matchups, everything. Same amount of TV time. Now, it's like now we are trying to see, okay, who's better? Who is getting the more better crowd reactions? I know one is a heel and one is a face, but who makes you care more? Who makes you feel more? I would say, I used to say I couldn't see these guys being singles. But now it's like, man, now I see it. They were a rare tag team where it was like you couldn't tell who was better. Because since they are twins and they got the same moveset, okay, now we have to compare who has a better personality, who has more charisma. And I feel like for the past 3 years, I feel like Jey has just leapfrogged Jimmy. I would say a couple years back, they were trying to push Jimmy over Jey. I remember he was in a storyline with his wife and Mandy Rose. So it was a point in time where I felt like the company was trying to value Jimmy more than Jey. But Jey, I think Jey got over by accident. Where would we be if Jimmy never got hurt in year one of Roman Reigns' title reign? Would Jey have been the right-hand man? Nope. So now we see, okay, who is the better Uso? At first, I was saying, okay, I can't tell because they're twins and both guys have the same gimmick, same moveset. But now, since I see one is on Raw, one is on SmackDown, now I feel like the jury is out. Jey is better. Now, I wouldn't compare them to the Hardy Boys because I don't think Jimmy is on Matt Hardy's level just yet. Look, let's not bury Matt Hardy. Look, I understand he's not as exciting as Jeff Hardy. When it comes to ring skills, I feel like Matt Hardy is better than Jeff when it comes to a ring performer perspective. But Jeff, man, Jeff has just tons of weird, quiet charisma. He has a huge presence. He has a great look. He's just more electrifying than Matt Hardy. That's what it boils down to. Charisma matters. Having a weird, strange charisma and a weird look, that matters. Now, I did love Matt Hardy's first singles run when he was Matt Hardy version 1. Like me, that was his best gimmick. I don't care what anybody else says. Matt Hardy version 1. That was his best gimmick. I don't care what anybody else says. That gimmick was ahead of his time. Even he said it. He was a great heel back then. It was him, Shannon Moore. He was the first social media guy that was trying to promote that. Matt Hardy, version 1, that was a great gimmick that was ahead of his time. But with Jimmy Uso, he ain't there just yet. Now, I'm not comparing him to Marty Jannetty, not just yet. But soon, it might get to a point where, man, they might have to consider possibly valuing Jey more than Jimmy. The fact that he's back to being a henchman for Roman Reigns and Jey and Cody are trying to fight for the tag team titles. So it kind of proves they might be trying to value Jey more than Jimmy. Look, I think Jimmy has been exposed, kind of. I feel like Jimmy has been exposed as the lesser twin, which is sad because, man, you are not supposed to value one twin over the other, but that crowd has spoken. They find Jey more entertaining. Now, what makes Jey more entertaining? Look, he has a weird, strange, hilarious charisma about him. He has weird charisma. Like, I can't put my finger on it. It's like he has a weird presence about him that you can't ignore. He has that weird charisma that you can't ignore. I don't know what it is. He has great facials. He has a great walk. He just has a great look about him. How he acts is just hilarious. Jimmy seems like the serious guy. Like, he kind of gives me Matt Hardy vibes and Christian Cage vibes, but with lesser charisma. Like with Jimmy, Jimmy still acts like a Uso tag team partner. I'm not seeing a heel. He don't give me heel vibes. Not just yet. It's like, it's crazy because this guy turned on his brother, but still, he is not exciting. He is not an entertaining heel. And it's like, how can you not be an entertaining heel when you turned on your brother? But still, I feel like the crowd don't give a damn about him. But is that his fault? Or is it the Bloodline's fault? Because that act is stale. So Bloodline is stale. Nobody gives a fuck about the Bloodline. It don't matter who you push on the Bloodline. John Cena, L.A. copyright. It don't matter who you pair up the Bloodline against. Nobody cares about the Bloodline. You can keep on, this little forced agenda where you gotta make sure they in a fucking main event. It's like it's being forced and it's being just overly pushed now. It's like, bro, we gotta move on to something else. Why is Jimmy still tagging along with the goddamn Bloodline and Paul Heyman? Now he has to answer to Roman Reigns when he comes back. It's like, oh my God, I'm so tired of Roman Reigns. I'm tired of his gimmick. I'm tired of his whole entire character. I'm tired of this whole waiting, this slow plotting. I'm like, bro, why can't we get Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns at the World Rumble? This guy has to drop these titles. That show needs a world champion. That's what nobody is trying to bring up. SmackDown has no world champion. I'm sorry. When you are a world champion, you got to show up. I'm not saying every week, but you can't be on fucking vacations like you doing something. I don't like Roman Reigns' title reign. It's dumb and it's overrated. He don't show up to fucking house shows. He don't perform on TV. So why is this guy on a vacation stealing days? That's what he's doing. He's stealing days to up his record. It's like, hell, dude, any jobber can pass Hulk Hogan as a world champion when it comes to the days record if you are not defending the title. It's like, it don't mean shit. What part of that don't you understand? Nobody cares about this fucking title reign because he's not defending it. Since WrestleMania, let this sink in for just a second. Since WrestleMania against Cody fucking Rhodes, he has only defended this title, I think, one time. That's insane in the membrane. That's insane in the membrane. We are almost about to close out this year. And the last time he defended the title was against Jey and Cody Rhodes. So by that logic, he's only had one title match since last year's WrestleMania. Okay, that's a huge issue. Maybe that's why SmackDown is fucking trash. That show needs a full-time world champion. The show is 2 hours. Let me repeat, that show is only 2 hours. That show needs a world champion. You can't keep relying on L.A. copyright and John Cena. It's like, you can't keep relying on the Peacemaker to keep on coming back to do Roman Reigns' job. It's like, man, leave John Cena alone. Let him do his movies. It's like, fuck, he has to come back? That's why Roman Reigns sucks. Because they keep having to bring back John Cena to carry the fucking show. Let that sink in. That's like saying, oh, we have to bring back Macho Man Randy Savage because Stone Cold Steve Austin is not carrying the load. No, that never happened. Because Stone Cold was a fucking draw. But to get back to Jimmy Uso, I feel like right now, he's being exposed as the lesser twin. He doesn't have the charisma of a Jey Uso. That's what makes him different from Jey. Jey has more charisma. Jimmy is a tryhard. Jey seems more natural in terms of he makes you feel what he's feeling. Whereas, okay, let's say Roman Reigns was to bully Jey. You would feel sorry for Jey. That's what I mean by he makes you feel. He gives you emotions. Jimmy gives you none of that. If Roman Reigns was to bully Jimmy, nobody would care. He wouldn't get no sympathy. He don't have that kind of magnetism of a Jey. He don't make you feel. He's stiff. He's stiff, and Jimmy is a tryhard. I don't believe him as a heel. I don't believe him. Jey Jey is very believable as a face and as a heel, but more so as a face. Jimmy is not a believable heel. He's a tryhard, and he's being exposed. The fact that he's now a tag team guy with his younger brother, it's like I said, it's kind of giving me Matt Hardy vibes. But he's not at that level of a Matt Hardy, but he's getting there. Shit, he's almost at that Matt Hardy level in terms of, obviously, I think Jey, that's Jeff Hardy. Jimmy is Matt Hardy, but to a lesser extent. So, to make a long story short, this whole experiment has exposed Jimmy. Now we have our answer. Who, all these years, who was the better twin? I guess it was always Jey. Because Jey, he's the only guy we cared about in the bloodline. Let that sink in. Nobody cares about Solo. Nobody cares about Jimmy. It was always Jey. It was always Jey and Sammy. Where will Jey face Roman? Where will Jey beat up Sami Zayn? Why is Jey jealous of Sami Zayn? It was always about Jey. It was never about Jimmy. That whole storyline with the fucking bloodline, it was always about Jey. Jey was the straw that stirred the fucking drink. That's why Roman always called him main event Jey. He's the only Uso he cared about. Now let's go back. Jey was the only Uso that guy only cared about. Why was that? Because Jey is that guy. Jey is special. Jey is a poor man's Jeff Hardy in terms of, man, he has an it factor. Jey has the it factor. Listen, I'm not saying Jey should be a world champion. Maybe like a IC champion or a US champion. Hell, you never know. What if he will be the one to defeat the Ring General Gunther? That might be a huge possibility. Why not Jey? Maybe Jey Uso should be Gunther, the Ring General. That is a great choice. That's my pick on who should be Gunther. Why not Jey? Jey is hot. I feel like Jey is the hottest act on Raw. And he has leapfrogged Roman Reigns, and he has leapfrogged Jimmy Uso. Okay, I'm done.